want to dive into sports, and I want to show you how, by understanding what letters and numbers actually mean, you can actually understand things in such a deeper way than you already thought you did. And if you would have learned it this way from the beginning, you wouldn't have all the other ideas in your mind distracting you from the beauty of how letters and words have always meant what they mean. And if we could start teaching this to our children at an earlier age, or we ourselves start taking the time to truly relearn what is instead of what we have been taught, this would have miraculous and profound effects on everybody. I'm going to start with the word ball. The letter B, of course, starting a letter, the idea starts with the first letter, so it's B, based, or base on something. An activity, okay, something active, an A. And then two L's is a 3D thing and a 3D thing. So it would be as it lies, where it lies. Or L and L is 12 and 12, which equals 24. So we have an X. So it's like base activity between here and here. So how does that make deeper sense? Well, if you think about it, the word ball doesn't just mean a round thing you throw back and forth or a round thing you kick. You could say, I had a ball. You could say, we're going to the ball. All tied up in a ball, all that kind of stuff. Because it's like a base active idea between here and here. So it can be an object, something that's round that you throw back and forth or kick. Or as an idea, something based activity between here and here. We went to the ball and danced on the ballroom floor, so that's why these simple understandings of the subtle meanings of letters actually take it so much deeper. Like the word ball is simple. Now let's move into some of the sports. The word baseball. Now it's one word together. Based, activity, subjecting, expression, and then ball with a ball. So in baseball, you stand at a place and you hit the ball and it goes way away from you. And then someone gets it and tries to throw it back to a base. So of course, we get what that means, and it doesn't seem that miraculous. But that's why baseball is actually called baseball. Then basketball, just change a couple letters. You are BAS, just like baseball, but you are based, active, subjecting, a kinetic, express, plus. So you're throwing a ball into something in basketball. Basketball, pretty obvious. But then it gets interesting when you think of things like football. Now we have two different kinds of football. We have American football, and then they have football in other countries, which we call soccer. But think of football. The other one, of course, you kick it with your foot. So it's a ball that you kick with your foot. But in American football, if you understand what F, the sixth letter, means something that is familiar or form or force. So all three letters really coincide with what football is, but let's just say something that's familiar with you, something that you're holding. Now, ongoing, just like the word foot itself is a form ongoing plus what is on your foot, or a foot, 12 inches. Now we would say form ongoing plus the ball. So now you're holding on to it and running with it. So it makes more sense. Or you throw it and somebody catches it and they have to have the ball in their hands and they have to be manning the ball. They are the one who is footing the bill or footing the ball. So football, they're the one who is form ongoing plus the ball. Now in soccer, if you would think of what soccer really means, or what the letters really mean, S is the subjected letter. So it's like right before T, so it's subjecting. It's not the thing itself, but it's subjecting an ongoing concept, which is another concept. But if you put two C's together, it's either a form or it's a constant, because two C's equal F, or a concept that has been developed on itself has now become constant, two C's. So then you subject an ongoing concept, and that same concept, or constant, or form, now you express its reference. So you kick this thing back and forth. You get it, you dribble it back and forth between your feet, and then you kick it to somebody else, or kick it into a goal. So see why soccer makes more sense, or not just more sense, but it makes it more understandable why we call it soccer. Because if you understand letters and numbers, you would have understood this from the beginning if you would have learned this with the simple words and letters instead of seeing all these themes and then having it explained to you later. Now let's move on to tennis. So plus, it's something, to any. It's plus an expression, N and N. So like there's this notion and a notion, but they're also 14 and 14. If you add 14 and 14 together, you get 28. The 2 being in the 20 or the 10 spot as 20, it's saying based 20, and then 8 is here. So you're hitting something plus expressing NN, something back and forth between here. And that's the identified subject, which we call tennis, plus E, which is expressing, NN, which is this back and forth between now and now, or here and here, like because NN is 28 between here and here, and then identified subject. So you're hitting that thing back and forth. Tennis. See what I'm saying? If you understand the letters and numbers better, everything makes more sense. Next, let's look at the word dodgeball. Of course, there's a ball, and D being the dia in which it comes through, like the doorway letter, the director, the dia. Now, that is ongoing, and there's another D, dia, generating an expression. So if you're going to be the doer, the dia, the doorway of direction, ongoing, and another doorway of direction, ongoing, generates the expression. With a ball, through yourself, you're going to on-go, move yourself as a generated expression. So you're dodging a ball. See? Dodgeball. And then move on to the next one. I'll get off of words with ball. And what about skate? When you skate, you're subjecting a kinetic, the word at, A-T, with an E on the end, but you could say subject, kinetic, action, plus expression. So it doesn't just mean have skates and roll around on your feet. You can skate your way through life. Subject, kinetic, active, plus expression. The word Kate is in there, which is kinetic, active, plus expression. You'll see these things go through names, people, places, everything, and it resonates with your name, and you will always be that until you see that you're not your name, and you can overcome these things. But that's what I'm trying to teach people in a peaceful, loving way, because it's fun when I'm teaching it this way, but it gets into very deep, deep, deep stuff. That's why I'm starting easy so that people can work their way into it and see that the world is magical, and all we've done is not understood our magic. Some people have and used it wrongly, but that's another story. Didn't mean to go on that tangent there, but I want to make sure that I include that this isn't just for fun and kicks, but it is beautiful the way it really is. So back to other sports. We just did skate, so now change one letter after the K. You have S-K-I instead of S-K-A-T-E. Before we were at a place, at, expressing, when we skate. Now when you ski, subject, kinetic, identified. You're on it doing it. So when you're skiing, ing, it's subject, kinetic, identified, now generating. So when you ski, you're on it doing it. Now, move to the word wrestle. A W is two V's connected, or an A in the center of two vital things. So you're who, what, when, where, which. Now, that's a reference to express a subject plus a 3D expression. So you can wrestle with life. You can wrestle with your homework. You can wrestle with your job. You can wrestle with another person. But wrestling means vital reference, expressing a subject plus a 3D expression. So it's you versus something else. See what I mean? Like, that's in the word. It's in the letters. The words are living. It's just we don't see it that way. Even the word living, look at it. It's a 3D, L, as it lie, identified, vital, identified, now, generated or grouped thing. It would only make sense to finish off the video on sports about the word sport. So, you can sport a new shirt, you can sport a nice car, you can be a good sport, and then we play sports. So the word sport itself in all references is a subject, place, potential, or piece, ongoing reference, plus. So I'm subjecting something in place, ongoing, as a reference, like as a human playing it. Now we understand where the human number comes in. So a subject, place, ongoing, human, reference, plus. Let's do this thing together. We call it a sport. See? He can be a good sport about life. He can be a good sport, or he can be good at sports. She can be good at sports. See what I mean? Isn't that awesome? So, that's it for this video. Until next time, peace. Try to be a good sport.